So Nax is coming very soon, and there's a lot of things coming out of little ways to min-max that we didn't really use beforehand to just kind of increase our DPS within the raid. So today we're going to talk about a little cheeky thing that was sent to me from my boy NetX, and I believe he got it from the Mage Discord, but it's going to be a use of game mechanics to pretty much increase your DPS. So what we're going to be doing is utilizing the glove enchant hyperspeed accelerators and actually using a little cheeky way of getting 2 usages out of this enchant within 1 bloodlust. Pretty much what we're gonna do is use 1 glove with this enchant, use it right away, and then swap those gloves within a macro, something just like this you're seeing in the background, and then start doing your normal rotation. What this does is actually puts these gloves on a 30-second CD. I'm not logged into the game, so I can't show you it right now, but it puts your glove enchant on your main gloves on a 30-second CD. So you're gonna have 2 sets of gloves, whatever your old gloves are and your new gloves. You can use this with your tier gloves, your 10-man gloves, and your 25-man gloves. So you're just gonna use the macro, which uses your gloves and swaps your gloves right before the pull. This does give you a 12-second buff. It also will then put your new gloves on a 30-second cooldown. I tried to do this with rocket boots, and apparently it doesn't work with switching out your rocket boots. Whatever boots you use with rocket boots will put all of your boots on CD, but it doesn't work that same way with gloves. And the interesting thing is that this will then put your trinkets on a 10-second cooldown, which means a 12-second buff, 10-second CD on trinkets. You have a beautiful little 2-second window to potentially snapshot a huge gargoyle or whatever abilities you're gonna be snapshotting in the raid. So I will make a weak aura or adjust my buffs weak aura that tracks all of your buffs to actually glow when this comes down to 2 seconds. So you can see that that window is up, and then it'll be the perfect time to pop your trinkets, pop your Gary CD, whatever your snapshot CD is for whatever class you're running, if it snapshots on haste, and then everything will be rolling beautifully. You can see that right here as the trinket is about to come back up, we still have 2 seconds left on the buff, right? And Bloodlust will last long enough for you to also get a second usage out of your gloves within this Bloodlust. So you'll instantly use your trinkets, you'll have 2 seconds up rolling with all of your buffs going, and then right as that 30-second window ends, you can use your gloves again, utilize everything all at once, and have a huge opener on pretty much every fight. Now, this is something that you need to have a downtime in combat to be able to do, because it does require you to have your gloves on, the new gloves, on for 30 seconds in order to be able to actually utilize using them. This is something that also would be the same thing as using something like a manual crowd pummeler or any sort of snapshotting any trinkets. Whenever you equip a new trinket or whenever you equip a new item that has an on-use effect, it always goes on this 30-second cooldown in Wrath Classic and any versions of Classic. So it pretty much means you need to equip your gloves at least a pull before you pull the boss, or else you won't be able to utilize this, which won't be as useful in speedruns or any of the world first clears most likely, unless you have quite a bit of downtime. But if you do, you can keep using this because the actual normal cooldown of your hyperspeed accelerators is 1 minute. Instead, you can just have it at 30 seconds at all times. So that's it, guys. It's a cheeky use of game mechanics. I'm gonna try to test out everything else with being able to swap it, but pretty much snapshotting is a huge thing in Wrath Classic, and I'll have a video within the next couple days of exactly what snapshotting is and how you can utilize it for all of your separate classes, because it is different for every single class. I'm also gonna release a video today of how to sim your gear and how to sim your characters. The sims aren't all perfect yet, but for a lot of classes, they're really solid. So I will have a video for YouTube members, which you can join the membership down below to pretty much see that. And I'm also gonna come out with a guide of a bunch of tips and tricks for Nax, because I've done this raid on the beta probably 40+ times and probably a couple hundred times in Classic. And with that, I'll see you all on the next one, and good luck in Nax.